Full moon in Virgo. The high priest, high priestess. That's the true intention behind Virgo. And if you have strong placements in Virgo, what really puts you in right relationship with the energies of Virgo, because they're intense, everyone always goes, oh, Virgo. Yes, it's something to reckon with. Anyways, what puts you in right relationship is ceremony and ritual, which doesn't have to be a big deal. It can be a small one-person ceremony, working with the elements and the directions and your guides. And the energy of this particular placement in the zodiac is of tuning into the nature spirits and becoming more conscious of the unseen, of the spiritual energy around you. And also in this timing is this, we're kind of preparing the soil for the spring, for new growth. We're not quite to spring yet. That's April. Aries is when the wave begins. Right now we're at the very end, which is also a beginning. So we're almost at this completion of winter and to the beginning of spring. So we have to seed the field with the proper intentions to allow us to have a prosperous and emotionally balanced spring. So with Virgo, it's all focusing on sacred work. Sacred work is doing the work you love. And then for the other midlifers out there, it's really getting into your true purpose and your deepest desires, really bringing them forward, like dreaming, imagining. You know, if I could do whatever I wanted, what would I do? Because this next part of life is about really getting into your sacred work and becoming more of service to others. So part of this energy too is just really becoming more conscious of your behavior. There's times when you may go into like a trance state when you're triggered by something makes you angry, and with Virgos, we like to control. There's a lot of controlling energy, and it's good to recognize when we go into these states how we feel. Do we feel like we're like something else is coming in, or do we feel, you know, what are the feelings? And also, if you can observe yourself in these times, this is part of consciousness. This is part of becoming aware of our actions and our behaviors. And it creates more harmony in the atmosphere. If we can really tune in our atmosphere, we can tune in those moments and go, oh, yeah, that made me upset, because, you know, and be verbal about the things that we really can't control, and understanding where we go in these times when we are triggered. Virgo's really about, there's an element of perfectionism that I always talk about, that really comes from having to do ceremonies in the right way, with the right timing and the right, in the old days, if you didn't do things correctly, you know, you wouldn't have the results you wanted. But I think in these times we can recognize the perfectionism and we almost have to like push past it in order to really do something. Because sometimes we won't do things if it's not perfect, if it's not going to be perfect. And we get into the details of, oh God, it's not perfect, so I shouldn't do it. Just like me making these videos as a Virgo rising, with all these planets there, including Mercury and Venus, I am challenging myself by making these videos because they're not going to be perfect. I'm going to stumble on my words. I'm going to maybe trip and fall while I'm trying to walk through the forest. I'm going to ramble, but it's like part of pushing past some of the aspects of Virgo that are challenging. I challenge myself a lot because I think I spent the first part of my life really in the negative aspects of Virgo rising, and didn't realize there was this higher octave of the high priestess and the power. I knew I had a lot of power, but I didn't know how to channel the power, what the power was coming from, and then all the beings that were around me, who was on my team and who really was wounded and needed to step aside and just, take a chill. So it's been a long process, and this is, the great part of midlife and reassessing and re-looking at that last half so we can go forward in the best way. So this full moon, it's great to do, if you're a Virgo in strong placements, step out of your routine and do a little ceremony. It's not to worship the moon, it's to work with the energies. And we're always being confused by time in this realm. They're always like, there's always like a kind of, we have daylight savings, we have all these like, the Gregorian calendar, it used to be 360, now it's 365. They've changed things, and it sets up confusion. Even understanding history, it sets up a lot of confusion, and they want us confused. So it's good to just step out of your routine and step into nature and really ground yourself and tune into the nature spirits around you. The netters, in Egypt they're called netters, neteru, and they are known as masters of the net because we live in a sea of energy or a webbing or a net. And so recognize the way they're trying to seed the field with a lot of fear and doom and projection. And really, we have our own energy field to seed, and we have a choice to seed it in a positive way or negative way. So all our thoughts, beliefs, everything, our actions are all contributing to the seeding of the field. So take some time and seed the field and prepare the soil for the spring. Just a moment even, doesn't even have to be a lot of time. And it will pull you into this more harmonious place